Last night, 4 astronauts lifted off from Earth, bound for the moon. For the first time in over 50 years, NASA is attempting to send a human crew into deep space, bringing them face to face with technical risks that haven't been managed since the 1970s. This mission is a live test of the life support and navigation systems required for a lunar landing. If these unproven components fail, the multi-billion-dollar Artemis program faces a high probability of being grounded or defunded by a skeptical Congress. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to decode exactly what is happening inside that capsule and why the next 10 days will decide the future of human spaceflight. To understand the stakes, look backward. Humans haven't been to the moon since 1972. That is a 53-year gap in deep space exploration. For context, the last time a person looked back at Earth from that distance, the internet didn't exist. Millions of people watched the broadcast on analog, heavy wooden television sets. Since those Apollo missions ended, the dark expanse between Earth and the moon has been completely empty of human life. 0 flights, total silence. NASA is moving now because of intense geopolitical pressure. China is currently developing its own heavy lift hardware to establish a lunar presence by 2030. Because there is no secondary backup flight scheduled before the landing attempt, NASA is essentially playing a forced hand. They are executing an accelerated schedule where any major failure would stall lunar exploration for another generation. Right now, those 4 crew members are sealed inside a capsule about the size of a minivan, navigating a void 270,000 miles away from home. This diagram maps out their flight plan. There is no landing sequence and no moonwalk. They are executing a continuous figure-8 loop around the moon and heading straight back. That sounds like a straightforward cruise. It is not. To get to the moon, they have to fly directly through the Van Allen radiation belts, 2 massive intersecting rings of deadly solar particles trapped by Earth's magnetic field. No human has ever endured this level of exposure for this duration. To figure out exactly what that radiation does to biology, NASA physically strapped living human tissue to the inside of the spacecraft. They are measuring the cellular damage in real time to see if a human crew can survive the trip to Mars. On top of the radiation, pilot Victor Glover is testing the Orion capsule's thrusters by flying it manually, a precision mechanical feat that has never been attempted by a pilot in deep space. The crew are effectively functioning as test subjects, pushing human biological endurance and unproven spacecraft mechanics to their limits in an environment where help is days away. While surviving those high-level threats, the crew still has to handle the strange, mundane chores of living inside a tiny metal box for 10 days. Without gravity to orient them, the astronauts sleep inside wall-mounted bags strapped to the interior of the capsule so they don't drift into sensitive control panels while they rest. They maintain a strict schedule of 3 meals a day, including a shared 60-minute dinner. But because everything is in free fall, this dinner consists of food packets and liquids floating through the cabin. And regarding the toilet, NASA engineered what they officially call a unique bathroom situation. We'll just leave it at that. Adding a layer of cosmic coincidence to all of this, the launch took place on the exact night of a full pink moon, which peaked just hours after they cleared the atmosphere. But those fragile daily routines are happening right next to a thin metal hull. Just inches away is a freezing vacuum that would end their lives instantly. It's easy to look at a mission this distant and feel disconnected from it, like an expensive science experiment that doesn't affect your life on the ground. This diagram maps the direct connections between space programs and modern life. The hurdles to leave Earth gave us GPS, phone cameras, and water filters. Artemis II is the technical bridge to humans living on other worlds. The people executing this flight reflect a shift in how we approach the stars. Leading the execution of this mission is Commander Reed Wiseman. Beside him is Christina Koch, who is now the first woman to ever travel this deep into the solar system, and Jeremy Hansen, the first Canadian to fly to the moon. By including a woman, a person of color, and a Canadian, this flight moves deep space exploration past its 20th century origins. It signals that the return to the moon is a multinational effort rather than a race for a single flag. In exactly 10 days, that capsule will re-enter our atmosphere. We will either be celebrating a successful return to the lunar frontier or examining the systems that failed under the pressure of the void. I will be tracking every update as they fly. If you want to follow this mission in real time, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. The 53-year wait is over. We are finally going back to the moon.